Hi guys, it's time for our proportion and percents workout number 12. And today we are still working with similar triangles. And so we were given the triangles, and remember they're similar, which means they are a different size, but exactly the same shape. It also means that all their angles are the same measurement as well. So similar. So we have triangle. The first one is our big one, and it has a 4 and N, and then our other triangle is 3 and 18. And since they're similar, we know that these are proportional. Okay, so let's start with Andy. Andy started with 3 and 18, and then he took it down to 1 by dividing by 3. So we're also going to divide 18 by 3. That gets us to 6. And then he knew he had to get to 4. And so then he did 1 times 4 to get 4. And so we did 6 times 4 to get a side length of 24. Looks pretty good. So we're going to work out Anne's strategy and Allison's strategy, and then we'll compare them, okay? Anne's strategy, Anne did her 3 to 4 ratio here, which is, so she did the small triangle on top, 3 and 18 across from each other, and then the big triangle on the bottom. So notice 3 and 18 line up this way on that one. They line up horizontally here, vertically here, horizontally here. It doesn't matter as long as they match up. So 3 times what number gives us 18? So that's times 6. 4, we're also going to multiply by 6. 4 times 6 is 24. So notice all those number play, all those things that we've been doing leading up to these type of proportions are helping us see that pattern. And then last but not least, Allison said since 3 is 75% of 4, then 18 must be 75%. There are 3 6s in 18 and 4 6s in 24. So the answer is 24. A lot of people don't think like that. I think like that in a way, so I'm able to do it that way, but not everybody can. My suggestion is stick with Anne's strategy here because y'all's math skills are developed enough that y'all can get to it in one step. I don't think we need to take it to 1, but if you do, absolutely remember, as long as the strategy that you're using works all the time, then it's a good strategy for you to use. Okay? All right, let's see what question 2 is asking. Given 2 similar triangles, find N. Okay, so we have a ratio from 4 to 12 and then N to 9. 4 lines up with N, 12 lines up with 9. Does not make a difference if it's smaller, big, big, small, makes no difference to us, okay? Here, Andy lined up 4 and 12 on the same triangle together. So he has it lined up vertically. And he likes to go down to 1, so he did 4 divided by 4 to get to 1. 12 divided by 4 gives us 3. And then he said, well, 3 needs to be a 9. 3 times 3 gives me 9. So I'm going to do 1 times 3 up here. And 1 times 3 gives me 3. So the answer is 3. So we are assuming that that length is 3 here. Let's look and see how Anne did it and see if she also got 3. So remember, she just set up a straight proportion, but she did 12 and 4 on the same triangle horizontally, which is totally okay as long as they're lined up. So she did 12 and to 4, and she looked at that relationship and she said, well, I have to divide 12 by 3 to get an answer of 4. So I'm going to divide 9 by 3 as well. And 9 divided by 3 gives me an answer of 3. So that's exactly what Andy got. So that's what Anne got. Let's assume that's what Allison gets as well. Let's follow her reasoning. I know that 4 is a third of 12. So she's looking at this relationship here, 4 and 12. So N must be a third of 9. And I know that a third of 9 is 3. So the answer is 3. Now, we see Allison's strategy really obviously because we've been spending so much time using ratio tables, but you still would need to demonstrate and show your thinking. Okay, so even if you think it through the way Allison did, your teacher's probably going to want to see something like Anne's strategy written out, or you'd have to write out those sentences. So it's really just what you prefer. But Alice's strategy is a thinking strategy. So she's having to write out a sentence to show the teacher her thinking. Okay, that's all showing your work is about in math. And then our last one, given two similar triangles, find n. I'll show you really quickly how I do it, guys. I just make a little T-chart just like that. I grab my first triangle here, which is 5 and 4. Look to my other triangle, 20 matches up with 5, so the 20 goes here. I'm looking for the missing value there. I look at the relationship and I say, well, 5 times what gives me 20? Well, that's times 4 gives me 20. So 4 times 4 gives me 16. And does that make sense? Well, absolutely. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 to 4 ratio is the same as the 20 to 16 ratio. That means we could do, if you did 5 divided by 4 in the calculator and 20 divided by 16, you would get the same number for both of those problems. And so 5 divided by 4 gives us 1.25, and 20 divided by 16 also gives us 1.25. Okay, so that's another way you can check that answer and make sure that you're getting the same answer on both the left column and the right column. All right, that's it for today. Good job, and I will see you for our next one.